Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Herbert Calkins has a new experiment to try on Clark Kent. And unbeknown to the Man of Steel, he has enlisted the aid of none other than the girl reporter, Lois Lane. Convinced after long and arduous research that Clark Kent is Superman, Herbert Calkins, one of Scotland Yard's most famous detectives, now retired, has come to America to prove it. Kent, shocked by the detective's bold accusation, narrowly escaped the first trap set for him by Calkins. But the English sleuth then enlisted the aid of Lois Lane in arranging another trap, which he confidently said would prove definitely that Superman and Kent were one and the same person. As we continue the next morning, Lois is in her office at the Daily Planet, reporting to Calkins by telephone. Listen.
It's all set, Mr. Calkins. I stopped at the Metropole.
Please, don't mention names over the telephone, Miss Lane.
Oh, well, I stopped at the you-know-what on my way to the office, and I had a long talk with Mr. You-know-whom. It's in the bag.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, he said he'd cooperate with us.
Oh, I say that's capital. And by this evening, then, we shall have conclusive proof to confirm my claims.
And I'll have the scoop of the century. I still can't make myself believe it, but... Uh-oh, here he comes now. I'll have to hang up.
Right. We'll meet at 5, then.
Check. And thank you very much for calling, Mrs. Papopoulos. Good morning, Clark.
Good morning, Lois.
Morning.
Who's Mrs. Papopoulos?
Mrs. Who?
Mrs. Papopoulos had a very masculine voice.
Really?
Yes.
And how would you know that, Clark?
How? Oh,
You came into the office when I was hanging up. You couldn't possibly have heard Mrs. Papopoulos.
Well...
Or has your association with Superman given you super hearing?
What do you mean by that?
Who, me? Oh, I don't mean anything. Or do I?
You're acting very strangely this morning, Lois.
I was just going to say the same thing about you, Clark. You seem so jittery. Is anything wrong?
Wrong?
Yes, wrong.
No, of course not.
Oh.
Everything's fine. Look, Mr. Calkins didn't happen to call up for me, did he?
How would I know? Why don't you ask the switchboard operator?
I did.
Did
She said no. But I thought since you met Mr. Calkins yesterday, he might have left a message with you.
Oh, I don't seem to remember any.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
All right, thanks. I'll see you later, Lois.
Would you like to leave a message in case Mr. Calkins does call while you're out?
No, thanks. I expect to be in my office all day.
Mm-hmm. He does seem worried. Can it be that Mr. Calkins is right? That Clark is Superman? I can hardly wait until this evening to find out.
Say, Mr. Kent, have you seen Miss Lane this morning?
Well, yes, Jim. Why?
Well, did she seem kind of, goofy to you?
Goofy.
Yeah, wacky, giddy. I think the heat's got her.
What makes you say that?
Well, she's been making the dopiest remarks all morning. About you.
About me?
Uh-huh. Well, like just before, when I asked her if she'd seen you, she said, oh, maybe he's up at the North Pole, cooling off.
Oh, she was probably just kidding, Jim.
Well, maybe, but before you got in this morning, her typewriter went on the blink. I called up the repair people for her, and they said they couldn't get another machine down for a couple of hours because the truck had already gone out. You know what she said to me then?
Oh, what?
She said, too bad Clark isn't here. He could bring me that typewriter in 2 seconds.
What?
That's what she said. And I said, who do you think Mr. Kent is, Superman?
Uh-huh. What did she say then?
Well, she just gave out with a silly little laugh. I tell you, the heat's got her, Mr. Kent.
So or Mr. Calkins.
Mr. who?
A mutual friend. They must have had a talk about me, and I don't like this, Jim.
You don't like what?
Our British friend is dangerous enough alone. Too dangerous. Now with Lois to help him.
Help who? What British friend? What are you talking about?
I think a brief leave of absence is indicated.
Hey, has the heat got you, too?
Could be, Jim. The heat's on me, plenty. And I hate to run away, but I'll see you later, Jim.
Yes?
Mr. Calkins?
Yes?
This is Lois Lane. Listen, I've got bad news for you. Clark Kent is going away.
Really? I say. Where's he going?
I don't know, but he just talked Mr. White into giving him a vacation. He said he needed a rest.
Oh, you can't let him go, Miss Lane.
How can I stop him?
Find a way. You're a bright young woman.
Well, that's an easy thing to say, but I
There
don't know.
must be a way, by Jove. Something about the newspaper, perhaps. A story.
Oh, wait a minute. I just thought of something that should work.
Good girl.
I've got to rush before he gets away. I'll call you back later. Bye.
You wanted to see me, Chief?
Yes. I'm sorry, Kent, but I'll have to ask you to put off your vacation for a couple of days.
Why? What's wrong?
Lois just got a tip on a big story in Willow Falls. Has to rush right up there. She'll be gone in a day or two.
What?
Vacations have us short-handed right now, so I can't have you both out of the office at the same time. You understand.
Oh, yes, of course. Tell me, Chief, who gave her this tip?
Some friend of hers who lives up there, she said.
It's funny. It's the first I hear of Lois having friends in Willow Falls.
So what? Do you know everything, Kent?
Well, no, but it's just that this looks fishy to me.
What does?
Lois's sudden trip to Willow Falls. After the thing she said to Jim this morning.
Now, what's Jim got to do with it?
Oh, nothing. But I've got a hunch that Calkins has.
And now it's Calkins. And who's he?
Of course, I may be wrong. This could be on the level.
Will you please tell me what in thunder you're talking about?
What? Oh, sorry. It's nothing, Chief. Nothing. I guess I'm just a little upset about delaying my vacation. But I'll stand by till Lois gets back, of course.
Oh, fine. Oh, by the way, Tony Sloan brought in a copy of the agreement the city made with the traction company. I want you to pick it up and deposit it in our safety vault tonight on your way home.
The what? Oh, yes, the vault. Sure. Okay, Chief.
Hey, you're not yourself, Kent. I guess you do need a vacation. I'll tell you what. You go home early. I'll go to the vaults, but... No, I can't. I've got an appointment with our publisher.
Oh, don't worry about it, Chief. It's all right. I'll go to the vaults. See you tomorrow.
Worried as to what Herbert Calkins and Lois Lane may be up to, Kent returns to his desk. Meanwhile, Lois and Herbert Calkins are in the Metropolis Safety Vault Company's underground vaults, speaking to the husky uniformed guard.
Now, you know exactly what you're to do, my man.
Sure, you've told me fair 100 times, Mr. Calkins. So how could I be forgetting?
Very good. Now then, here's $100, lad.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And there'll be another 100 later if the job's done properly.
It'll be done to perfection, sir.
Look, it's 5:15. It's almost time, Mr. Calkins.
Righto. Come away then, Miss Lane. We'll be in the guard room at the end of the hall there, Murphy. Come to us as soon as it's done.
That I will, sir. Now,
Miss Lane, in a short time you'll see Clark Kent reveal himself as Superman.
Eagerly, Lois Lane accompanies Herbert Calkins to the guard's room at the end of the line of vaults. What is the ex-Scotland Yard detective's plan to reveal Clark Kent's identity as Superman? We'll know in a moment when we return for the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Now I'll flash you the latest rave in the breakfast department. It's this week's Pep Dish of the Week, a Pep Double Scoop. And confidentially, it's something you wouldn't want to miss for anything. On account of, it's terrific. Sure, just listen to how to make it. You pour your serving of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal, into your bowl. Scoop out a little hollow on each side and fill in with juicy red raspberries. Add milk and sugar and pitch right into your Pep Double Scoop. And will your spoon scoop up some smooth eating? What those crisp, delicate flakes of Pep do for the red, ripe raspberries is something strictly special. And that's because Pep always comes through with its catchy golden sunshine flavor. So good, it always leaves you surprised you finished all there was in your bowl so soon. And you know, eating your dish clean is the smart thing to do these days. You don't want to waste one single bit of cereal, because whole wheat is one of the cereal grains picked out to go to fellas and girls around the world. So get hep to Pep. When Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make sure it's not wasted. Handle with care is the idea. If you pour your own cereal, pour it carefully and polish off every bit you pour out. Just remember, eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Unaware that he is walking into a trap, Clark Kent has arrived at the Metropolis Safety Vault Company, carrying a briefcase containing important Daily Planet documents. Escorted by Mike Murphy, the guard, he is now approaching the Planet vault, the huge round steel door of which stands open.
I don't think if we ask any help to carry in that briefcase, will you now, Mr. Kent?
Hardly, Murphy. I'll just leave it in here.
And you'll be staying in there with it. Mr. Calkins, Miss Lane.
What happened, Murphy?
He's in there.
He is?
Yes. Sure, and I caught him neat as a fox in a trap, I did.
You did?
He just walked into the vault and bingo. I slammed the door, turned the dials, and there he'll stay until morning when the time clock opens the vault
Until
door.
dawn? Until morning? Why, he'll smother to death.
Don't worry, Miss Lane. Here, Murphy.
But, Mr. Calkins...
Here's the other 100 I promised you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, no one else will be coming into the vaults tonight, will they?
No, sir. I'll be closing up right now. I'll see you later.
Very good.
But, Mr. Calkins, Murphy said the vault can't be opened until morning. Clark will smother. You promised me he wouldn't be in any danger.
He won't be. The vault will be opened in 2 hours by the emergency squad.
Oh.
Unless Superman opens it before then.
You mean if Clark is Superman?
Exactly. If he gets out of that vault before we let him out, we'll know he's Superman. Since no other human being can break through 6 feet of solid steel.
Heavens, no. But suppose he doesn't choose to break out. Then we won't know any more than we do now.
Oh, yes, we will. No normal man, strong as he is, can retain consciousness in that airtight vault longer than 2 hours.
Oh?
So if Kent is still in the vault when it's opened but is not overcome, we'll know he's Superman.
Suppose he pretends to be overcome.
I've arranged for a doctor to be here to make sure. Either way, Miss Lane, we win. At the end of 2 hours, we'll know for certain whether Kent is or is not Superman. And I'm wagering he is.
This is one trap, says Scotland Yard's ace detective, that Superman cannot escape. Is he right? Is the long-cherished and carefully guarded secret of Superman's double identity to be revealed at last? It certainly seems that way, despite Superman's own wits and great powers. Can you see any way for him to escape, revealing his identity? Be sure to listen tomorrow to find out what happens. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, a new trap has been set for the Man of Steel. One that Herbert Calkins assures Lois Lane will prove beyond all doubt that Clark Kent is Superman. Convinced after much research that Clark Kent and Superman are one and the same person, Herbert Calkins, Scotland Yard's ace detective, has come to the United States to prove it. When Kent narrowly escaped from one trap, Calkins took Lois Lane into his confidence and, with her aid, set another trap. Early that evening, when Kent came to the Metropolis Safety Vault Company with some important documents from the Daily Planet, the guard waited until he stepped into one of the underground chambers of steel and concrete, then swung the great door closed, locking Kent inside the vault. As we continue now, Calkins and Lois are in a restaurant across the street from the dark vault building. Listen.
Kent is very clever, Miss Lane, but this is one trap from which he can't escape without revealing his true identity.
You sound very confident, Mr. Calkins.
That I am, by Jove. The door and walls of the vault are solid steel, 3 feet thick. Now, the only person in the world who can break out is Superman. So, if Kent isn't there when the vault is open, we'll know the truth.
Wait a minute. I just thought of something. If Clark isn't Superman...
Yes?
Well, he is a bit of a sissy, Mr. Calkins.
Really?
Oh, yes. He'll get panicky locked up in there without any air. I just know he will. And if anything happens to Clark, I'll never forgive myself.
Now, really, Miss Lane, you mustn't take on so. Ken's fooled you very neatly, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, his leading you to believe that he was timid and a weakling was deliberate.
But why?
So you would never suspect his real identity, of course.
Oh. Well, that could be, I suppose, but I'm still not sure that Clark is Superman.
Well, now, let me see. In 1 hour and 55 minutes, I will have solved the greatest mystery of our time. The secret of Superman's double identity.
As Herbert Calkins and Lois Lane prematurely congratulate themselves, Clark Kent, locked in the underground steel vault across the street, had, by means of his X-ray vision, seen them in conversation with the vault guard earlier and guessed the truth. Now he racks his brain desperately for a way out of his predicament.
This is the worst spot I've ever been in. If I break out of here, it'll prove I'm Superman, and if I wait to be let out and show no ill effects, it'll also prove I'm Superman. What'll I do? Wait a minute, I've got an idea. That time clock set inside the vault door. It's set to open the door in 2 hours. If I rip the steel back a little, just enough to reach the clock, like this, there, and then set the clock at 2 hours like this, door should open. Good, it's open. Now to have a look outside. Here we are. Let's see now. The burglar alarm wires along the bottom of the door. A touch will set the alarm off, and who can prove a mouse didn't do it? Now. There, that does it. Now to get back into the vault. Set the time clock back 2 hours again. There. And now bend this steel plate back over the clock. Like that. Now, all I have to do is wait for the emergency squad. You're a smart potato, Mr. Calkins, a very smart potato. But I think I've outsmarted you once again.
What time is it now, Mr. Calkins?
It's 20 minutes past 6, Miss Lane. In just 1 hour and 40 minutes, we'll expose Clark Kent as Superman.
Oh, I can hardly wait. What a story that will be. And when I think of the years that Clark's been fooling me... Wait a minute. What are those sirens?
Oh, just the bobbies going somewhere or an ambulance?
Yes, I suppose... Look, Mr. Calkins.
What?
Look through the window. Police cars. And that red truck stopped right in front of the vault building. Look what it says on it.
Bank Protective Association, emergency squad. By Jove, Miss Lane, something's apparently happened in the vaults. Come on.
Easy now, mister. Everything's okay. Just take another whiff of these spirits of ammonia and you'll feel fine.
The vault, I was locked in.
Sure, but just for a few minutes. You're okay now.
I couldn't breathe.
Clark, are you all right?
Lois, a terrible thing happened. I got locked
I
in.
know. Are you all right now?
I don't know.
He'll be okay in a few minutes. I gotta go check this alarm.
How do you feel, Clark?
Better now, but my heart's pounding and there's a ringing in my ears.
I think we'd better get a doctor, Mr. Calkins.
Nonsense. He doesn't need a doctor. He's just putting on an act, as you Americans say.
He is not. You can see how he's fighting for breath.
Rubbish. He's pulling your leg, Miss Lane. Yes, and mine too, by Jove.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's tricked me again. How he did it, I don't know, but he did right enough.
That's ridiculous. How do you feel now, Clark?
Oh, I feel terrible.
I'm sure you do. That was a frightful experience.
I thought I was going to smother her.
Oh, come now, Jeb. That's pure utter rot.
Now, you look here, Mr. Calkins. You've caused enough trouble. I was a fool to listen to you, and I don't intend to listen to you anymore.
What's this all about?
He's fooled you once more, Miss Lane, but he hasn't fooled me. I'm still convinced he's Superman, and I'll prove it too, by Jove, very soon. Cheerio to both of you.
Goodbye.
Me, Superman? Did I hear him correctly, Lois?
Yes, can you imagine it? He almost convinced me of it, too.
What? He did?
Yes, but never mind that now. You've got to get home and go to bed.
Yeah.
Do you think you can get up and walk out to a taxi?
I think so.
Oh, good. Here, lean on me, Clark.
Okay.
I'll help you outside.
Thanks.
Here's your house, Clark. Can you manage alone now?
I think so, Lois. I feel much better now.
I'm so glad, Clark. I feel like a heel for ever letting Calkins talk me into thinking you were Superman.
How did he ever sell you that idea?
I'll never know. Look, I guess you've had all you can stand of Superman tonight. You go to bed, and I'll cover the story alone.
Huh? What story?
What story? Why, the World Peace Federation rally at the Metropolis Stadium tonight, of course.
Oh.
Superman promised to appear and make a speech. Don't tell me you forgot about it.
Scott, I did forget. I've been so involved in this business with Calkins, the rally slipped my mind entirely. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, I said you can forget about it.
Oh, but I can't.
You what?
I've got to be there. This is a big story. You know how important the World Peace Rally is, and the chief will never forgive me
Now,
if I
don't you worry about a thing. I'll cover the story for you, and I'll square you with the chief. You go to bed.
Well, all right, Lois. Good night, and thanks.
Good night, Clark. And thank you for not being angry with me.
Oh, forget it. Is that a lucky break? Lois reminding me I promised to address the World Peace Federation rally tonight as Superman. I've been so worried about that bulldog Calkins, I forgot all about it. Well, I'll just go up to my apartment a moment. I'll shoot over to the stadium. What? Great Scott! You again!
Entering the small lobby of his apartment building, Clark Kent suddenly stops short, his body going rigid. Whom has he seen? We'll know in a moment when we return for the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by. Startled as he entered the small lobby of his apartment building, Clark Kent suddenly stopped short, frozen rigidly in his tracks. For a moment he stares, speechless. Then he gasps.
You again?
Yes. Surprised, Superman?
Now, wait a minute.
Or Mr. Kent, if you prefer.
What are you doing here, Mr. Calkins?
Surely you can guess.
If it has anything to do with your notion that I have a double identity...
It has indeed. I told you I was convinced that you're Superman, and I'm going to prove it before I return to Europe, by Jove.
Now, look here, by Jove. I'm a patient man, but
So am I, old chap. In 30 years at Scotland Yard, I never failed to bring in my man.
Great.
That takes quite a heap of patience, you know.
Yes, all right. So you're patient. You're clever. You're a wonderful detective.
Thank you, sir.
But you're also, if you'll forgive my frankness, a confounded bore. So now, if you don't mind, we'll say goodnight. I have things to do.
Yes, I know, at the Metropolis Stadium.
What about the stadium?
Oh, calm, old chap. We both know that you, as Superman, promised to address the World Peace Federation rally tonight.
Oh, we do.
And we both know that you won't disappoint the thousands of people who'll be there expressly to see you. Isn't that so?
Now, wait a minute.
Now, hear me out. I intend to spend the evening with you.
Oh, you do?
Yes, indeed I do. And let me warn you, old chap, I'm a most difficult man to lose. I'm going to be most interested in seeing how you can be at my side as Clark Kent and on the stage of the Metropolis Stadium as Superman at the same time.
Well, Clark Kent, how can you hope to solve this dilemma? If you fail to appear at the Metropolis Stadium, Herbert Calkins will know you are Superman. But how can you appear on the stage as scheduled and at the same time be with Calkins in your identity as Kent? Once more, the famous Scotland Yard detective has laid a clever trap for the Man of Steel. How can Superman escape that trap without revealing the heretofore carefully guarded secret of his double identity? Tomorrow's episode will have you sitting on the edge of your chairs, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.